Hi, I'm Doug, and these are Wycliffe's words. Last week, we saw how the Middle English word Mahomet was derived from the name Muhammad. A slew of other words, ancient and modern, grew out of proper names. That is, they are eponymous. For example, you probably know that the thing I ate for lunch was created by the Earl of Sandwich. But I didn't know until recently that the engine in my truck was invented by Rudolf Diesel. And if you want to protest my truck's effect on the environment, you might stage a protest like those led by Charles Boycott. Many eponymous words stray far afield from their sources. The word tawdry describes an item that is showy, cheap, tacky. It's not a compliment, but it comes from the name of a much admired woman, Saint Audrey. Vendors at her annual feast day used to sell lace necklaces and neckerchiefs to the pilgrims. Unfortunately, they were often cheap and shoddily made, and thus St. Tawdry's name became associated with tawdry goods. In a similar vein, a maudlin person is one who is weepy and foolishly sentimental. A maudlin movie is a sappy tearjerker. Like tawdry, maudlin is a derogatory term. But it too is derived from the name of a godly Christian saint, one who actually appears in the Bible. Now, who in the Bible is sappy and sentimental? I can't think of a one. But again, language has taken its journey through time and garbled the original meaning. If you were to ask C.S. Lewis where he taught, he would say Magdalen College. But his resume would say that he taught at Magdalen College. Yes, Mary Magdalene's name has been pronounced and spelled Maudlin at least since the time of Wycliffe. But why would her name be associated with weepy sentimentality? I think it's a case of mistaken identity. Each of the first three Gospels describes a dinner at which a sinful woman approaches Jesus. She pours a jar of expensive perfume on his head and washes his feet with her tears. Now, this repentant woman is nowhere identified as Mary Magdalene. But Mary's name has become attached to her by tradition, so much so that throughout history, Mary Magdalene has been identified as a weeping former prostitute, although there's no evidence of that in the Bible. So I guess we can blame this anonymous, uninvited dinner guest for the term maudlin. But it would be unfair. There's nothing sappy or sentimental about her tears. Unlike the sanctimonious, self-righteous Pharisees, she was fully aware of her sinfulness. She looked at Jesus and saw goodness and holiness personified. She looked at herself and saw nothing good, nothing holy, and it broke her heart. She knew that this man, who spoke of healing and forgiveness, was her only hope, and she came to him in abject repentance, honoring him in the only way she knew how, with ointment and tears. There was nothing maudlin in that scene. Our own tears of repentance should be so sincere. And those are Wycliffe's words. See you again next week.